Hey, what's going on, everybody? Um, Sorry about getting on here so late. No, it was 7:45. Um, I was actually got caught up because I started watching a good um episode of NFL Access. It was pretty good. It was kind of just talking about some things going on. Because now, of course, um the new thing is really hot, and what's going on right now is, of course, everything that's going on. Minnesota's become the central spot, a central location for um, George Floyd conversation, and it has reached out just like everything else. It's just kind of reached out globally, but they were talking about it in the NFL. Um, Discussed some comments that Drew Brees had made in reference to. It still kind of it boggles my mind. Um, if you are a fan of the show, then you already know. Even on my personal page, I have never ever hid my dislike for Drew Brees. Drew Brees is to me is a just a fake patriot to me. Just someone that says a lot of things, but he absolutely has no drive to figure out what'll be the big issue going on. Period. And the more and more he opened his mouth, he just sickens me. I've never liked this guy. I've never ever liked Drew Brees. He's just one of those individuals that to me is just it's a flat out joke, and it's like the more and more he speak on stuff, I'll be like, man, just chill out, just stay where you at, talking about the things you did for New Orleans, and sometimes I think he tries to hang on that and use that like, man, I love black people because look at what I did with New Orleans. I mean, you ain't the only person that went down there and is doing things for New Orleans. Brad Pitt did a lot. My man Warwick Dunn, who never gets the credit that he deserves for all the homes that this man built out of his own dime. Warwick Dunn. Um, but this guy's he's a trip to me, man. I mean, he had an interview with Yahoo Sports today. Drew Brees. I'm speaking of. And even before I get more into that, man. First of all, good evening. I hope all of y'all are doing great. Of course, it's Unfiltered with Mr. Johnson. Um, some of my other co-hosts may be coming on tonight. They may not be coming on. But the good news that we got for you guys is that next week we will all be back live, completely live on set, doing our first live podcast with the whole crew here. And my goodness, we in June now. This is since February. Wow. March, April, May. For our first live podcast in nearly 4 months. And we are really excited about that. Like I told you, we've been missing each other so much. We've been doing a lot of streams hit and miss where we can have each of us on there. Sometimes we can't. But next week, there is no excuse. We are so excited just to be back to doing what we love doing, man. I love it. To be back live and just have the energy of that show is going to be great. I just can't wait for everybody to see everybody in person. And we got some great topics, and then we are, like I said, I'll discuss that when we get a little bit more to the show. But this show is definitely not going to be long. As a matter of fact, it's going to be less than 45 minutes. And we just want to kind of scheme over a couple little things that we knew was going on. Of course, we are live on both Facebook and YouTube. So please tune in. Please share out as well. We thank y'all so much again for all y'all support, especially during this time frame where our fans have never fell off. If anything, y'all have over communicated to us. Y'all have over responded, trying to figure out when we getting back on there, when we're going to be back together. And just to let y'all know again, June 10th, next week, Wednesday, back at our regular scheduled time. We are so looking forward to doing this and being able to be back with y'all and have the interaction that we love having with y'all every day. So, and every time we post. So, going to what I wanted to talk about, just hit on a little bit, is like I said, this guy Drew Brees. He has an interview with Yahoo Sports, and Yahoo Sports, they asked him about the George Floyd situation and his thoughts on it. And this guy resorts back to Colin Kaepernick, and it kind of sort of led the question a little bit to it. Sometimes people ask some of the dumbest questions I've ever seen in my life. And they kind of led him back into that, talking about, everything that happened and all this other good stuff with Colin Kaepernick. And again, he's resorted back. I don't think we should ever, he thinks kneeling was a form of disrespecting the flag. And then right off the bat, he just strikes you like you have got to be a fucking complete idiot. Why do you keep this narrative? Is so old that he keeps saying you can't disrespect the flag. If you kneel, disrespect the flag. You can't do this. You disrespect the flag. You can't do that. It's disrespecting the flag. You're not even discussing the issue that led up to this. And it's irritating me. That's like fake patriotism. And I'm like, so to me, it's like, man, you should just shut up because you're not the person to talk to on this. Nobody needs your lecture. Nobody needs your idiot comments that are like they're completely insensitive. They're completely off. And I just get so mad because it felt like no one on this team ever said anything to him about it. And they just went, like, okay, well, it's Drew Brees. We ain't going to say nothing about it. Like some cowards. But thank goodness, and I'm telling y'all, man, y'all need to be grateful for a lot of these younger bloods that are coming out and coming to the NFL, because them days of them saying, shut up, catch balls and throw balls and everything else like that, them days is done. Shout out to my man Michael Thomas, man, who is the record-setting wide receiver for the New England, for the New Orleans Saints, who set the record this season for the most pass receptions in one season, breaking Marvin Harrison's old record. He's been solid ever since he came out of Ohio State, and he today put him in his place. He said, and I'm just paraphrasing it, like the very first thing that pops into your mind that you think to say when they ask you about the George Floyd narrative is respect the flag. The fuck that's got to do with anything? So you're telling me if the cop had a nail on his neck and there was a flag right there, you know what I'm saying? That's the only way you would have had any objection to it. Like, look, man, you could kill niggers, man, but you can put your neck on, you can put your knee on their neck, but man, don't do it in the presence of the flag. Like, man, Drew Brees, man, get the fuck out of here, man. Drew Brees, that's just why I told people he's such a joke, man. It's fake patriotism, man. I don't like it. I don't like when nobody shows blatant fake patriotism and try to hide under the cloak of it. Like, man, this ain't got nothing to do with that. It's never had anything to do with a fucking flag. And this is the dangers of media, period. And I've always said this. This is the dangers of any type of large-scale media. Media is already controlled. But when they can put a narrative out there and make a few individuals who seldom know how to think for themselves, who seldom do any research for themselves, they always take whatever the first aspect they hear about and they just go running with it. Have no cares in the world. They run with it. They spread it. And that's one of the huge dangers of social media that's always happened. And it's just disgusting. So I'm just really give a shout out to somebody like Michael Thomas that, just kind of put this guy in his place. You know what I mean? Put him in his place. Who cares? I don't care that he's a But he, like I said, I wrote a post about him saying that he's always been this one-sided Captain America that believes that no wrong could ever come of this country. That's his point of view. Because if it's not, those words would have never came out of his mouth. Because of the first words out of your mouth, when you think about what happened to George Floyd, Eric Gardner, Sandra Bland, I don't care. We can go up and down to that. If you got anybody, we just happen to know that it happens more often and more carefreely with African Americans. We know it's happened with anybody of any other color. We've seen it happen. And like I've told people in the beginning, when we could get out the aspect of saying it's not about bad cops or good cops. It's not about bad citizens or good citizens. It's about what's right and what's wrong. Because some days good cops can do bad things. Some days bad cops can do good things, and vice versa when it comes to citizens and anybody else. Throw all the color and everything out the way. We just trying to get what's right, and what's wrong. We want to be judged as wrong and have the same consequences as anyone else. Just because you got a badge on, or if you got friends up high, or the color of your skin should not dictate justice system. It should never do it. So, and all that being said, just one of the big topics that I really wanted to try to hit on tonight, within this next 45 minutes, we're talking is, I don't know about y'all, but I have been so incredibly, in one aspect, pleased by what I've been seeing around the world when it comes to this event. You know, unfortunately, sometimes the things we do in life and the circumstances behind the things that I've done to us in life outlive us tremendously. And sadly, and don't quote me on that, I believe George Floyd was 46 years old, still a young man. But the impact of what happened to him is going to be historic. And it's going to be historic with us because we're alive to see it. Normally, history is written by cowards or by the individuals that survived. Individuals, I say, either survive with integrity, and sometimes by the ones who were cowards and can make up their own story. But this, you know, when you're a part of history yourself, no one can ever change the narrative because you know what it's about. And we see what's going on. And even in the United States, these cities. Shout out to Flint, Michigan, for the incredible thing they're doing up there. And I'm referring to their police chief up there, outstanding, Genesee County sheriff. Man, I'm very impressed with that. That's what should be done in the first place. Everybody should be saying, this is wrong, and we need to get it corrected. Shout out to the mayor of Minneapolis, who stepped up and said, I want to know why these guys have not been prosecuted yet. Shout out to a lot more policemen that have been out there that have stepped on the other side of the line and said, no, we are also standing because we want to get this corrected. Because just as bad as we all talk about bad cops, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I've been one of those people for a long time. I'd be like, man, don't give me that good cop, bad cop jab. But you know what? When you got people in your family that serve in public service, and even myself that have been doing public service for now, my goodness, man, going over 18 years. Dang, that's incredible. When you just, sometimes I don't think about it because it's just the way I've been raised, and we've always been raised that if you want to get money in your community, you want to grow your community, then you better make sure that you're a part of your community and strengthen your community, period. So just don't go in there trying to make money off of fear, but you should be prospering, your prosperity should be shared in terms of the joy and the happiness and the welfare of living in your community. That means if you feel safe living in your community, everybody should feel safe living in your community. But it's been time frames where, no matter how many people you try to get to volunteer, and I'm a harder one because I don't like to beg people. I feel like I shouldn't have to beg you to want to be safe in your own community. That should be something that you should desire for yourself. You should be in the forefront saying, this is my community where I live. We as a whole who live here are responsible for how it looks. We as a whole is responsible for letting people come in and do damage to where our mothers, our fathers, our wives, girlfriends, our kids, and the rest of our family live. We're responsible for that. So if you live next door to an abandoned house, you hate the fact that it looks so decrepit and disgusting. It should be no problem with everyone in the neighborhood boarding up their house, keeping it neat, keeping it clean. It's not going to be overgrown with foliage, so people think that's a spot where they can do all this kind of dirt and nobody going to notice. No, that's when you step up. That's how you can tell the difference between communities like that who stick together and who don't stick together. And it's just disgusting how, well, I'm sorry, not disgusting, but it's great that I see those communities together. I got one of our hosts coming in right now, Mac Reese. I'm gonna get ready to pull him in a minute, but I just wanted to finish this thought before I pull him in. What I've been so pleased with is just seeing it looks a little different in terms of the change and how we approach things.
Yo, what's going on?
Yep.
What's happening, everybody?
Oh yeah. So everybody, that's the narrative. I was talking to him. I don't know if he was just watching the two code, but I was just saying about how I'm one of the narratives I'm really happy with is seeing the world kind of unite. It just, and it's credible, I'm saying? It's incredible. It's kind of touching to see everybody kind of unite right now together. I think it's amazing, and it's showing to me that a lot of people are saying, you know what, this is, this disgusting. This is enough. We need to get this taken care of.
Yeah, and the great thing is, like, honestly, just seeing from social media, a lot of people that, are kind of quiet about the situation, or like, when you hear BLM, it's kind of like pro-black, or like, hey, you pick a side, whatever. But to see, like you said, to see it globally and see how everybody is affected by it, not just people of color, but, people of all realms of life, see this and know that, hey, it's enough. And just to see
Absolutely.
that, they're on board with us with this is really eye-opening and really heartfelt. So I appreciate everybody, outside of the black race, being on board with us, and our white, Indian, Asian, all and all our brothers and sisters of different ethnicities to be on board with us during this time. Where you go? Yo.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I just had to make a slight change. I saw what happened in one of the things. It looks like it just got it twisted. I don't know why they just put it on that page. That's weird how they did that. I don't understand why they put it on the personal page. But I'm back here. Hopefully it didn't mess up that bad. I know Mac was on there talking. Mac, relog in. If you got, I'm gonna send you a text. Relog in, man. But just really trying to reiterate what we're just saying, because I did see a comment on one of my pages where someone was talking about Drew Brees, and I'm gonna read that in a minute. Thinking that that's what they was talking about. I don't understand how you don't know think what you're talking about. You know, for you, I think for you to tell me that's not what you think he was talking about is for you to tell me that what I saw and what I heard, I'm deceiving myself. Um, I'm just tired of the narrative that it's just getting too played for me. When it comes to what the heck? I don't even think this is going on. Is it still on? What's the name? Let me see if it's on this page. Dang, what the heck? I don't think Facebook is letting it on there. I don't think Facebook at all. It's not even letting it on there. Well, if you see this, just understand this. That we are going to. I'm not going to even spend any time because Facebook will piss me off, and it is doing it now. This is why I think in a minute that we Unfiltered going to be discontinued on Facebook because I have to go through too many issues with Facebook's and returns of censorship. What we can say, what we cannot say, and yet I see the same racist rhetoric all the time on this fucking social media site. And I get so much issues with just getting my site have to get to the approval for them just to post our videos. And it disgusts me. It pisses me off. And if you do happen to see this, which it may not happen, it is what it is. Just know that June 10, 2020, we'll go ahead and go live with everybody else here. Excuse my demeanor. I'm just pissed off now with this. Y'all have a good night. Okay.